Hello there, as you can see, I'm at a beach, and I'm searching for the vicious yet beautiful creatures known as alligators, to use as another pet, to keep people off my property. I've been out here all day, it's very hot, I really do need some water, I wonder where the alligators are. I know, I'll Google them. Huh. Well then. Instead, let's talk about alligators. Alligators are known as vicious aquatic animals that live in marshes, rivers, lakes, and swamps, and they are more than willing to walk on land and take your puppy and drag it into their lake for their next meal. Alligators have gotten a bad reputation. But today, I'm going to show you an alligator with a good reputation. This is Swampy, who comes from the mobile game Where's My Water, which was developed by Creature Feet, released in September of 2011, and with the game being a Disney-owned intellectual property, let me tell you, it was everywhere within the Disney community back then. It was definitely a success, so much so it managed to spawn multiple spin-offs, remember those? Like Where's My Mickey, and Where's My Perry? In the Chinese version no one remembered, there was also a spin-off game called Where's My Valentine, where Swampy and Perry share the same game together. Then soon after, there was the game, Where's My Summer, where, in a nutshell, Perry basically hijacks Swampy's popularity. There was even a board game, toys, shorts, but enough about that, let's talk about the game that started it all, Swampy. You see folks, Swampy is not like other alligators. Swampy likes to stay clean by taking baths and showers regularly with his little ducky. He does this by having his own little home in a city sewer system, and he's already a legend.
That's why he's the GOAT!
But I can't help but wonder how high his water bill must be. Because this alligator, named Cranky, disrupts the water flow to Swampy's home. Why? 'Cause he's a dick. In the game's first chapter, this is where you, the player, have to redirect the water towards an inlet to Swampy's bathtub. In the game itself, you have to collect rubber ducks in the levels to access more chapters and the rest of the levels. And I decided to go through the whole game for this special occasion. In Chapter 2, we are introduced to Cranky's soon-to-be ex-girlfriend, Allie. Isn't she cute folks? I sure hope no artist comes in and ruins the fun. Anywho, the alligators are teasing Swampy for being a germaphobe. In the Chapter 2 levels, you have to avoid a purple Mountain Dew looking substance called contaminated water from getting into Swampy's bathtub, which is seen in this cutscene. He's literally getting mocked for not trying to catch a disease. In Chapter 3, Cranky and Allie are sitting on a picnic, and Cranky, being such a gluttonous fella, is having the time of his life, while Allie is disinterested and starts taking interest in Swampy eating. Classically, the interest in Swampy continues in the Chapter 4, where Allie gets distracted by Cranky's advances, and notices a purple ribbon bow that Swampy is holding. Fun fact, within the first level of Chapter 4, the bow can be found as a hidden collectible, and its description implies he basically ends up giving it to Allie. That's nice. In Chapter 5, while Cranky's mojo with the ladies starts to fade, Cranky gets salty and tries to shoot contaminated water onto Swampy, but Allie deflects it, landing in Cranky's eyes. In Chapter 6, Swampy and Allie are outside on a winter day having fun, while Cranky, being the jealous simp that he is, uses a fake alligator dummy for Swampy to notice so he can get them to break up with each other. In Chapter 7, we learn the alligators have a fine taste for stage plays, all while Cranky gets more jealous of Swampy. In Chapter 8, Swampy gets to experience the miracle of flight through their city's air vents. In Chapter 9, Swampy has a house party where he invites other alligators and even Cranky to get him to loosen up. Him and Allie even make cupcakes.
Yummy.
Then in the last chapter of the game, everyone is outside having fun in the rain, and Allie wants Swampy to loosen up and get down and dirty. In the mud, after you beat the final level, you'll be awarded with this ending screen. That was nice. There was even character development. While it wasn't much, this game teaches you the importance of not becoming a full-time Discord moderator, as well as the importance and value of water. Unlike other puzzle games that go on forever or punishes you for making a mistake on their rigged challenges, Swampy in his game is like,
hey, relax guy, just try again.
if you fail a level, you can retry it for as many times as you want. Don't you see? Swampy just wanted to help. He didn't want you to spend hundreds of dollars on overpriced microtransactions. He didn't want you to become an ad slave for the rest of your life. Sure, he got angry when he doesn't get his water, but Swampy just wanted to help educate the youngsters on mistakes are completely natural. boost critical thinking skills with a select number of challenges, and the importance and value of taking a damn shower every once in a while. And I think we all can relate to that, all for the low price of $1.99. But wait, there's more. This game has DLC. And Allie and Cranky have their own stories, even though both Allie and Cranky have only 4 chapters. Much shorter than Swampy's, they're still worth highlighting. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. In Allie's story, we learned that she has a passion for music, and wants to be a star.
I want to be a star.
Be careful, the desire for fame in the music industry can have consequences. Allie could end up drugged up, knocked up, or both. Let's see what happens. In chapter 1 of Allie's story, Cranky decides to be less of a dick, and him, Swampy and other alligators help build a steam organ for Allie. In her levels, instead of water needed to complete the levels, she needs steam to power the organ. In chapter 2, Allie performs in a jazz concert looking exhausted while Swampy, being a gentleman, brings her food, and Cranky takes a role of a security guard. In chapter 3, we also discover Allie has a little edge to her, as she performs in a rock concert, which has also caught the attention of a few humans in the background. There's flyers everywhere, and even Swampy selling t-shirts. The rise of the alligators is coming. In Allie's final chapter, she performs as a conductor for an orchestra, while Swampy and Cranky watch behind the curtains looking proud of her. In the ending cutscene, roses are thrown at her as she takes a bow for her fantastic musical performance. Absolutely beautiful. All of this for 99 cents. Next is Cranky's story. His story is focused on him doing what most humans love doing, overstuffing themselves with food and being greedy as hell. In chapter 1, we see Cranky in his lair, where he is starving, and he can't get to his food because it's covered in algae. In his levels, instead of steam or water, he needs contaminated water to get rid of the algae so he can eat. This also implies that he drinks poison. How fitting. In chapter 2, Swampy, Allie and other alligators celebrate Cranky's birthday, but Cranky, being cranky, is not in the mood. In chapter 3, Swampy decides to help Cranky get some exercise to get him back in shape, but Cranky, being cranky, is not in the mood. In his final chapter, after Swampy and Allie realizing Cranky's true happiness is food, they decide to go on a dock using bait at the end of their fishing rods to feed Cranky, but Cranky, being cranky, got a little greedy. As he's swimming, he pulls on the rods, and the dock starts to collapse as he's swimming away. In his ending, he's seen back in his lair, happy, and overstuffed. Beautiful. This game is a classic. But wait, there's more. The game released one last roll of DLC levels called Mystery Duck, where basically, in a nutshell, you play through all of Swampy's levels again, but this time, you collect special rubber ducks in these levels. They are probably sentient. In the opening cutscene, Swampy and Allie put on a magic show, hosted by the Mystery Duck. Unfortunately, this is the only cutscene in Mystery Duck. There isn't much, but the levels themselves are a fun extra challenge for the sake of bragging rights. With that being said, I fully completed the Mystery Duck levels, and yes, I am proud. There's also another set of levels called the Lost Levels. Unfortunately, there is no opening cutscene in these levels, but upon completion of the 10 Days of Swampy chapter, there's one final cutscene of Swampy and Allie on a romantic date, with Cranky noticing and being secretly jealous. Bruh, go somewhere. There are plenty other hot alligators in the sewer, and that's everything. Hope you enjoyed. But wait, there's more. After the success of Where's My Water, a web series was made called Swampy's Underground Adventures, which can now be only viewed on a Disney Video website. It's a very, very short series, with only 12 episodes that last around 2 minutes. There isn't much, but there are some interesting moments, like we learned that the alligators engage in political discourse. We also learned that humans are absolutely wasteful. There's also these recurring alligators named Pushy and Shovey, and Carl, who are also seen in the game. Pushy and Shovey have a sibling-like rivalry, mostly fighting over food, and Carl is the unofficial 4th member of the group. The Patrick Star of Where's My Water, a bit slow but still good at heart. By the way, I'm curious, what state is their sewer located in? I have no idea. As a safe assumption, probably Florida. In the shorts, it is confirmed that the algae in the game is alive, meaning every time we use the contaminated water to burn the algae, we're killing a sentient being. That's nice. There's also... And that's everything. But wait, there's more. In September of 2013, Disney released Where's My Water 2, developed by Creature Feedpin as of 2020 and 2025, Congregate being their new publisher. To keep a long story short, with the game's premise, Swampy, Allie, and Cranky all share the same story, instead of having their own individual stories like before, with the cutscenes this time being animated. Swampy, Allie, and Cranky decides to travel outside the sewer again. That's right. Cranky is less of a dick this time. They first head to a soap factory, where we also get to see where the rubber ducks are made. Later, Allie and Cranky shows Swampy a bathtub, which they all use to ride the bathtub all the way back to the sewer. Then they travel to the beach. Everybody get out. Everybody off of the beach. The alligators are here. And Swampy and Allie are building sand castles. Later, Carl is carrying some tires and he trips, and one of the tires hits Cranky. Instead of killing him, Cranky and the others decide to have fun with the tire. They then travel to a bayou, where they find a whole family of alligators, who I assume are Swampy's relatives. Cranky back to his gluttonous ways, and Allie showing her musical talent. Then they all take a group photo together. On their next adventure, they head out to the woods during wintertime. Swampy slides down the snow with his sled, while Cranky tries to scare a little alligator. Swampy accidentally covers Cranky in snow, and then later gives him hot cocoa. They even manage to find a cave filled with treasure. And what did they do with it? They play with it, of course. In the last chapter, Swampy and the others relax and play in a park. In the final cutscene, they are seen heading back into the sewers with some stuff they stole, and that's the last we ever saw of them. Where's My Water is a perfect example of a franchise that got its 15 minutes of fame. It got merchandise, shorts, a deserved sequel. The franchise had a quick boost of popularity, and then stopped. So what happened? Well, let's face it, it's Disney. It's likely Where's My Water 2 didn't live up to financial expectations, and decided to pull the plug on the franchise, which is a shame. I believe the franchise should continue, but if it doesn't, Where's My Water 2 will be a fine note to end it on. By the way, to tie in with my new Mobile Madness Plus series, where I talk about the paid or premium side of mobile gaming, I will make a video talking about the first Where's My Water game in its entirety. I will be talking more about the level design, the challenges, small details I like. When will the video be released? I have no idea, so stay subscribed, and remember, take a goddamn shower once in a while. Thanks for watching.
Yes, we give the audience what it wants.
Smash that like button and subscribe.